to the game, baby.
Hey everyone, my name is Akira, and I am a professional wrestler. I am a gamer, and I'm also a connoisseur of all things art and weird. I may have scars, I may have a rugged appearance, I may look like I've been in a fight or two. And you'd be right. I have never wanted to fight myself more than when I was playing Ninja Gaiden 4. Now let me tell you, I've never played a Ninja Gaiden game in my life. I have never stepped into the foray of that creator's world. I've heard all the legends, I've heard all the lore, I've heard that people have ripped their hair out and complained and begged, please sir, make the game simpler. And he goes, oh no, I don't want to do that. Oh, fuck you, man. Get good, pussy. And Ninja Gaiden 4 was my first step into that foray after I played a very shitty puppet game on Twitch. I decided, you know what? There is no worse pain in the world than this. I'm gonna just jump to Ninja Gaiden. I gave the chat a choice. Play the puppet game, play Ninja Gaiden. And they chose puppet game. Then dealing with non-stop speaking puppets that would not just shut up whenever you knocked them down. Anyways, side note, this is not a discussion about that horrible puppet game. This is a discussion about Ninja Gaiden and whether you should play this game. Let me tell you, if you have a high blood pressure in any kind of form of variety, if you are an angry individual, if you are someone who cannot sit there and admit that you fucked up and that your faults are your own, this might not be the game for you. And I tend to borderline on, raging at the game and pointing fingers. A la Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. Bloodborne, I will admit, all my deaths were my fault. Generally. It throws you immediately into the world. It throws you immediately into the sounds, the effects, the combat. You get sucked into the world of what it is. Now, mind you, is the story some kind of great phenomena of storytelling and some kind of nuanced, in-depth artistic take on character development? No! It is filled with standard anime tropey BS. But because the characters and the combat are so cool, I take those tropes and I'm okay with them because everything is so cool. The rule of cool stands strong in the Akira brain. That's also why I like Godzilla stuff. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. It's Godzilla. Atomic breath go brrr. And what more do you need? And I was captivated. The combat was fluid. It was fascinating. It was effective in everything that it did. It was flashy and aesthetic. And whenever you did accomplish a kind of roll, a dodge, a parry, or you hit a cool combo, or an Azuna drop, which is probably the coolest video game move I've ever seen in my life, you feel a length of satisfaction and pride at the fact that you did those things. When you go through the purgatories, which are essentially challenges in each level that you can go to and risk a bit of your health versus getting more out of your reward at the end of the battle if you can complete it. When you do all these things, and even though it does feel cheap at times, it feels bullshit, you go in there and you kick ass and you finally get through that finish line, you do a sigh of relief and you're like, oh, fuck yeah. I'm not tired. Continue. I was playing on normal mode. Even on the beginning levels, there were times where I was challenged. There were some bosses where it would take me 1 to 2 or 3 tries. And when I beat them, I would go, damn, I did it. And mind you, the first 2 times they kicked my ass. But whatever it was my button clicking, my reaction times. Whenever I was locked in, brother, I was locked in and I killed that boss so fast and efficiently. I felt like the coolest dude on earth. I guess that's the way at the end of the day is the way the music is, the way the characters are presented, the way the graphics and the combat feels. Whenever you finish a fight, you feel as cool as your character looks, which is pretty goddamn cool, all things considered. There are some things I think are kind of BS, but it has that same issue I kind of had with Kingdom Hearts 1. And you might think, what the fuck is the difference between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Ninja Gaiden 4? Let me tell you, it's called the fucking targeting system. I can count how many times when I was locked onto a certain opponent and say a new opponent who was much more of a threat came along, and I'm trying to pinpoint my targeting system so I can pinpoint that one specific enemy, specifically the fucking floating balloon ass motherfuckers that would explode on impact, or some certain flying enemies that were just spitting toxin at you, the combat system would do this and would lock onto the wrong one, and guess where you head to whenever you are locked onto a certain opponent? You would walk towards that opponent no matter which way you try to go. Maybe it was just a me thing, I don't know. Again, I could just be pointing blame at the genius of the game developers, but the fact of the matter is, it was annoying at times, and I was having war flashbacks to Kingdom Hearts 1, where the targeting system was not as intuitive as, say, Kingdom Hearts 2. Did it take away from the overall enjoyment of the game? No. Was it annoying? God, yes. Nonetheless, though, I love the character designs. I love how everything looks. The level designs themselves are very unique. It's very open to exploring. If you are aware and you see these different routes, you can take them. You should take them, because they also lead to hidden objectives, hidden missions that you need to go out and find when you go to your little lobby system. I don't have much bad to say about it. I will just say, like, there is a spike in the difficulty, though, when you get through the main character's storyline, and then you get to Ryu's storyline, which, yes, I mean, it tells you in the summary that you play as both the main character and you play as Ryu. When you get to Ryu's combat feels less fluid as the main character's. Feels a little less fluid. Now, mind you, you hit more powerfully, you have some really cool moves, but again, after dealing with the main character whose combat is very fluid, fast, back and forth, Ryu's feels kind of like a step back, but maybe, you know, that was a design choice. I don't know. I just didn't personally care for it. It also has Legend of Zelda Wind Waker syndrome, which when you get to what I'm talking about, especially when it gets to Ryu, you will understand what it is. Doesn't matter though, because again, you kind of just breeze through the section. But the difficulty spike when you get to the end of a certain segment and then you have a combat with two reuniting characters again, the difficulty jump from what it was to here is huge. Also, you get to the point where it's like, hey, you'd better have some healing items, otherwise you're gonna get your ass kicked. Oh, you didn't have those because you didn't have them 8 chapters ago? That sucks. Mind you, the game does help you out here and there, but my god, the jump from here to here was crazy. Crazy. And that's not even getting to the final boss. It's in the game summary. You should know who the final boss is going to be. When you get to that second part, oh, I wanted to rip my hair out. But it was through me wanting to rip my hair out, I took a deep breath, I walked away. Numerous times on stream, by the way. And eventually I sat down and I really started to pick apart the enemy's attack patterns. And again, this is the kind of game where it's difficult. It is very hard. But if you lock in and you realize that all the tools and the hints of the combat are there for you to interpret to win, you can win. And when I finally beat the game, I did a sigh of relief. I looked up to God, I prayed, looked down to the devil, cursed his name, and I said, I am never playing this fucking game again. I had such a fun time with this game, I don't want to revisit it and get frustrated with it. I want to give it its space and let it breathe and come back to it when I feel like the time is right, and then go through and do all the extra missions. Or maybe do a more completionist run and see how different the gameplay might feel. Because I didn't get all the stuff for the main character, you know? I didn't get all the health boosts and all that stuff. I was just getting it as I saw it. And I still was able to beat the game. So maybe the game would be even easier if I did that. I don't know. But I missed those things in the beginning because I didn't realize how much more open-ended it could be. I felt rushed to finish each chapter. I guess at the end of the day, though, the question is, would I recommend you play this game? If you like bloody games, if you like combat, if you love cool music, cool character designs, an anime aesthetic, and just an overall feeling of male power fantasy, which maybe it's just female power fantasy, just power fantasy in general, I would say buy this game. This game is totally worth the $1 that it was made to take from our wallets. It was fun, it was thrilling, it was frustrating, it was the exact kind of thing I want in a video game. Other than some little minor technical stuff, like again, the targeting system pissed me off to no end more often than not, and sometimes you get gridlocked with the enemy combat. I'm not one for rankings or anything like that, but I would say totally buy this game. I'd say I'd give it probably a B+ or an A- if I was going to scale it. And totally shot your money for this. Invest in these kinds of games. They're fun. They're not preachy. They know what they are, and they want to give you a fun, thrilling time that you can sink 10 to 20 hours in, depending on how much you want to invest and how much you really want to lock down all this stuff. I had fun with it. I would totally play it again when I recover mentally from my frustrations. And I would say, buy it. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. Buy it, buy it. Thank y'all for watching this video. My name is Akira. I am a professional wrestler, and I'm just some jackass on the internet spitting his opinion out loud into the air, hoping that people listen to it. I might be cute, I might be dashing, I might have scars all over my face that might rival a character in Ninja Gaiden, but god damn it, I'm just a human, and so are you, and that's all we are, and that's all we can be. Until the next video, peace out. See you all next time.